In the vast tapestry of our planet, there exists a wondrous realm, our forests. These ancient guardians of biodiversity cover approximately 31% of the Earth's land area, harboring an astounding array of life forms, from towering trees to elusive creatures that call these verdant landscapes home. Yet amidst their majesty, a silent war rages on, a war fueled by human ambition and encroachment. Deforestation, a scourge that knows no boundaries, is unraveling the delicate fabric of our ecosystems at an alarming pace. Every second, an area of forest the size of a football field is lost, succumbing to the relentless forces of logging, agriculture, and urbanization. But the impact extends far beyond the felling of trees. It reverberates through the intricate web of life, threatening the very foundation of our existence. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the multifaceted dimensions of deforestation, from its global scale to its profound implications for biodiversity and climate change. Through the voices of those on the front lines, we'll unravel the complexities of this crisis and discover pathways towards a more sustainable future.
Our connection to the forest runs deep in our veins. It's not just a home, it is a part of who we are. Generations of our people have lived in harmony with nature, but now our way of life is threatened by the relentless march of deforestation. According to the Indigenous People Alliance of the Amazon, over 20% of the Amazon rainforest has already been destroyed. We must stand together to protect our land, our culture, and our future.
Deforestation exacerbates climate change, leading to more frequent and severe weather events. We must act now to mitigate its impact on our planet. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, deforestation accounts for about 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Protecting and restoring forests is essential for stabilizing our climate and securing a sustainable future for all. As individuals, we have the power to make a difference through our everyday choices, whether it's reducing our consumption of forest-derived products or supporting organizations working to protect forests. Each of us can play a part in preserving our planet for future generations.
Sustainable agriculture is possible. By adopting eco-friendly practices, we can protect our forests while still meeting our food needs. Agroforestry, for example, integrates trees into agricultural landscapes, providing shade, soil fertility, and biodiversity benefits. According to the United Nations Development Program, sustainable agriculture practices can increase yield by up to 80%. As a farmer, I've seen firsthand the benefits of sustainable practices. Not only do they protect our environment, they also improve the resilience of our farms and communities. It's time to shift towards a more sustainable model of agriculture that respects the delicate balance of nature.
The rate of deforestation is alarming. It's not just about losing trees, it's about losing entire ecosystems and the biodiversity they support. Forests are home to over 80% of the world's terrestrial biodiversity, according to the World Wildlife Fund. The loss of forests threatens countless species with extinction, from the iconic jaguar to the elusive tree frog. We cannot afford to ignore the devastating consequences of deforestation. It is imperative that we take immediate action to protect and restore our forests before it's too late.
Our government is committed to combating deforestation through policies that promote sustainable land use and conservation. The Indonesian government has pledged to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 29% by the year 2030, with a significant proportion of these reductions expected to come from forest conservation efforts. However, challenges remain, including illegal logging, land conservation, and inadequate enforcement of environmental regulations. We must work together, both domestically and internationally, to address these challenges and ensure long-term health and sustainability of our forests.
We need to balance conservation with economic growth. Logging provides jobs and fuels development. While it's true that logging contributes to deforestation, it also drives economic growth and provides livelihoods for millions of people. According to the Brazilian Forest Service, the forestry sector employs about 1.6 million people in Brazil. However, I recognize the need for sustainable practices to ensure the long-term health of our forests. We must work together to find solutions that benefit both people and the planet. As we journey across the globe, we arrive in Costa Rica, a beacon of hope in the fight against deforestation. With its lush rainforests and progressive conservation policies, Costa Rica stands as a model for sustainable forest management.
While our struggles continue in Brazil, Costa Rica offers a glimpse for a hope for a future. Their commitment to protecting their forests is commendable and serves as an inspiration for indigenous communities worldwide. Costa Rica has doubled its forest cover over the past 3 decades, around 26% in the 1980s to over 52% today, according to data from the United Nations. We should all strive to be like Costa Rica.
Costa Rica's success in preserving its forests is a testament to the power of sustainable practices. By prioritizing conservation over short-term gains, Costa Rica has not only preserved its rich biodiversity but also reaped economic benefits through ecotourism. Ecotourism contributes significantly to Costa Rica's economy, accounting for around 6% of its GDP and employing over 200,000 people, according to the Costa Rican Tourism Institute.
Hey Javi, can you tell us a little about Costa Rica?
Oh, sure, I'd love to. Being that I'm a farmer from Costa Rica, I've seen firsthand the benefits of sustainable land management. Our government's incentives for reforestation and agroforestry have not only improved soil health and water quality, but also diversified our income sources. Costa Rica's Payment for Environmental Services program pays farmers to restore and maintain forests, resulting in the conservation of over 500,000 hectares of forest and the sequestration of millions of tons of carbon dioxide annually, according to the World Bank. Hey Joe, what's your occupation?
Hi, my name is Joe Smith. I'm an environmental scientist in Costa Rica. And Costa Rica's emphasis on preserving biodiversity has led to the establishment of thriving national parks and protected areas. These havens for wildlife not only safeguard endangered species, but also contribute to the country's reputation as an ecotourism hotspot. Costa Rica is home to over 5% of the world's biodiversity, thanks to the less than clear cutting inside Costa Rica. But despite only covering 0.03% of Earth's surface, they still hold up to 5%. This is all according to the National Conservation International.
While Costa Rica may praise its conservation successes, we must not overlook the economic realities faced by countries like Brazil. Logging provides jobs and fuels economic growth, supporting millions of livelihoods. Costa Rica's approach may work for them, but it's not feasible for every nation. The logging industry in Brazil employs over 2 million people and contributes significantly to the country's economy according to the Brazilian Institute of Environment and Renewable Natural Resources. Zooming out to a global perspective, we find ourselves amidst a complex web of international efforts to combat deforestation. From the halls of the United Nations to grassroots initiatives in local communities, the battle to protect our forests rages on.
The Paris Agreement and other international accords provide a framework for countries to collaborate on mitigating climate change and preserving forests. However, the effectiveness of these agreements depends on the commitment and action of individual actions. As of 2023, 195 countries have ratified the Paris Agreement, representing over 98% of the global greenhouse gas emissions, according to the United Nations Framework Conservation on Climate Change.
As our exploration for deforestation draws to a close, it's evident that the fate of our forests hangs in the balance, with far-reaching implications for biodiversity, climate stability, and human well-being. From the Amazon to Costa Rica, the urgency of preserving these vital ecosystems cannot be overstated. Let's reflect on the insights shared by Mario, the climate activist, and Javier, the farmer, who represent voices from diverse perspectives.
The climate crisis demands immediate action. Every day counts in our efforts to reduce carbon emissions and halt deforestation. International cooperation is essential to achieving our goals, but individual actions also matter. Let's make sustainable choices in our daily lives and hold our leaders accountable for bold climate action.
Sustainable land management is key to protecting our forests. Through practices like agroforestry and reforestation, we can enhance biodiversity, improve soil health, and secure livelihoods. By supporting local conservation initiatives and advocating for policy changes, we can create a future where people and nature thrive together. Now, more than ever, we must come together to address the root causes of deforestation and climate change. Our forests are at a tipping point, and the time for action is now. I urge each and every one of you to go beyond awareness and take concrete steps to protect our planet's lungs. Join local environmental groups, volunteer for reforestation projects, or participate in community cleanup efforts. Engage with your elected officials, demanding stronger policies to safeguard our forests and combat climate change. Reduce your carbon footprint by adopting sustainable practice in your daily lives, from minimizing waste to choosing eco-friendly products. Remember, the power to create change lies within each of us. Together, we can amplify our voices and mobilize for a greener, more sustainable future. Let's not wait for tomorrow. Let's act today to preserve the forests that sustain life on Earth. Our planet and future generations are counting on us.